All right, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. Welcome to the Good Negros podcast. I am your girl, Jinx, and this is
Andre Brooks.
All right, we got a special guest today. Goes by the name of Nash of Powerhouse Creative.
Well, she's the founder and CEO.
Yes, I'm sorry. Am I shortchanging when I say of? It's yo baby. It's yo baby.
It is my baby. Thank you for having me on.
So glad to have you.
Thank you.
This is great. I mean, for one, good trouble and good Negroes.
Hey.
That's why they call us that.
Hey.
That's right.
I say we are good Negroes, but we do love some good trouble, though.
And I'm honored to, kick off the first couple of episodes. This is amazing.
Yeah.
I love it. Well, thank you for coming on because we wanted to specifically talk about Juneteenth and some events that you have going on. So we can have some broad discussion about, Juneteenth. I understand, Dre, you are not always a fan.
That's the thing that's so crazy. At first, I was not a big Juneteenth guy. I just thought it was weird.
What's a big Juneteenth guy?
I didn't respect the holiday, to be very honest, because I don't think I knew as much about it or understood its significance.
But you're from California.
So I didn't hear about it until I was
in
high school.
It's interesting.
For the first time I heard about it in high school.
But y'all be up on everything over there in Oakland, California.
It's odd, too, because most black people from California are from Louisiana and Texas. So you would think we would know, but I had never heard of it. When I did, I think my dad was like, man, how did slaves not know they were free?
For all
As
those
if
years.
slaves had a newspaper.
Yeah.
Or CNN.
Right. Or could even read the newspaper if they had it, because that was encouraged, of course. Every black person should know how to read. Not.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
Because that's power. Knowledge is power.
Mm-hmm. Information.
So what's your connection to Juneteenth, Ash?
She black. I'm just
edit that out.
black.
So last year, 2020, during all the protests. Wait, am I looking? I'm looking at y'all.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So last year, because I'm like.
Right. Only if you need to make, I do it when I need to make a point. Let me tell y'all something. Okay? Juneteenth was the day Frederick Douglass told Abraham Lincoln.
Get your shit together.
Right.
So, okay.
The Jubilee. Okay. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I don't really celebrate a lot of the American holidays.
Mm-hmm.
I barely even celebrate Black History Month because I have feelings about that.
Tell me what you got.
What are those
what
feelings? Yeah.
Like, why is it just these 30 days?
And not 30 days, because that would be a full month.
Yeah. Right. But why is it for this 1 month? Now we want to start, pushing these black narratives, and these companies want to hire and do these campaigns. Like, it just feels like America's
be super supportive for 1/12 of the year.
Yeah. And it feels like a campaign. And then all the other holidays, I call them holidays of terror.
Wait, let me ask you a question, though, because this is, as black people, this is our country, too. It's as much our country as, any...
We say that. Do they feel that way?
Oh, they absolutely don't. I'll never forget a white dude at my old job. This is, fresh out of college years ago. I was saying my family's been in America at least 300 years. And he was like, oh, my God, your family's been here longer than mine. As if he was more American than me. And that's where I've got this thing about we're just as American.
No, it's important to have these conversations, though. And black liberation, black emancipation, to me, when I hear that, I think black economics.
Okay.
And the sharing of information. So that's really what we like to focus on when we're organizing for Juneteenth. Last year for 2020, amidst 2 active protests, we organized the Juneteenth Takeover, the first ever Juneteenth Takeover.
It's our shit now.
Yeah. 19 black artists wrapped the Flatiron building with, a lot of people doing Black Lives Matter. And to me, it's like, mattering is the minimum. That's the minimum.
Mattering
so we know that, right?
Yeah. Tell me the significance about the Flatiron building, though.
Oh, yeah, Flatiron. So I was offered 38 properties downtown. And out of the 38, there was one that really stood out, was the design. And that was Flatiron City. And then doing more research, finding out that the Ku Klux Klan, actually from 1915 to 1930, they actually had a headquarter office in there. So I was like, let me get that one.
Yeah, absolutely.
Nice.
Now, for people, this is... I'm funny. I was going back to my old days. Talking about, now this is radio, so people won't know.
Yeah, no, it's not. It's a podcast.
But for people that don't know what the Flatiron building looks like, so think New York, those odd shaped buildings that come to almost like a tip, almost like like a long oblong triangle kind of with like a shaved nose.
Like an iron. It's literally shaped like an iron that just goes straight up like a building.
Yeah.
Oh, how did I not get that? Duh.
Right.
Yeah.
And so the thing about that is we wrapped it with there was so much, the media is so powerful and it sees the subconscious. So there were so many images in the media of black men bleeding out and you know, running back images of Sandra Bland and just the list goes on.
Yeah.
And it was like, we want to counter that.
Yeah,
So
we don't want to just be that.
Yeah, we were like, that was for the children in the backseat of the car that pulled up at the light to see themselves in different imagery, and positive, in our version of positive, uplifting imagery that you mattering is the bare minimum. That's for other people to figure out. But we know that. I know my life matters. I know my daughters. I know my friends, my family. That's a given.
Do you think it's important too for black people to see art made by black people? Like, is that?
Oh, black creativity just fuels every industry.
I think we always think about ourselves in music, and
music is art. It's a. You know,
I don't think we see
I think
ourselves
we're
in
some of the
visual
most
art,
creative
though.
people, though.
Oh, I
like,
think so, too.
I mean, if you look at it though, everybody's in it now. If you look at Pharrell, if you look at Kanye, if you go back to dang it, Crown Man, what's his name? Dang it,
Crown Man, Master P.
come on, man.
no,
Chameleonaire?
Oh my God, we got to edit all this out.
Jazz and Corrupt?
What the artist man name is? They used to the black man. Huh?
Or are you talking
with Warhol? They used to hang out with Warhol. Yes,
Yeah.
what was
John Michael Basquiat.
Thank
Basquiat.
you.
Yeah.
The B name. I could not get
But
it. The Crown
even
dude.
still,
Yes.
outside of that, like, black folks invented everything. And I believe that we're creative people because of systemic oppression. Like, we've had to get creative. We had to get innovative, selling CDs out the back of the car. Or, you know.
And still ended up with your Nellies and your masterpiece selling out the back of the trunk.
Yeah, black creativity fuels every industry. And you think about how powerful PR and the marketing world is. Like, that's us. Or I seen something today that talked about
ideas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I saw something today that talked about Friends made $1.4 billion and all this stuff. Like, yeah, they stole that concept from Living Single.
Exactly.
Yep.
So, you know, that's why it's important to talk about black creativity, ownership of our imagery and our value.
I mean, it's funny because even to this day, you look at people like Taraji P. Henson, who's probably one of the most visible black actresses. Her and I have her name right. I have
Angela
her face.
Yee?
Probably not.
What?
I'm just throwing out names, yeah.
No, the murder lady.
Viola Davis?
Viola Davis, yes. And they're so underpaid compared to their white counterparts.
Listen, you just sparked something in me. So Ruth Carter, the set designer for Black Panther, she's my art auntie.
Oh, wow.
Right? She's got an episode on Netflix, and it's like the art of design.
Yeah.
You got to watch that. I mean, that black woman and her creativity and what she's designed.
I believe she's a Hampton alumni.
Oh, the other HU, the Institute? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I love it, though. Yes,
Yeah.
She's designed for multiple sets,
Spike
though.
Lee.
Yeah.
Like, and that
Multiple
episode
major
is
sets.
powerful. It's powerful.
I have to check that out on Netflix.
Yeah,
Nice.
that's my art auntie.
I love it.
We've done some talks. She's so inspirational.
But I mean, when you look at black people in art, though, like I saw this documentary. It was one of the Henry Louis Gates documentaries on like the different kingdoms of Africa, and like Africans were making sculptures with 3D faces where the Europeans couldn't even do faces on paper yet.
Well,
Like that's
the funny thing
that's
to
how
me about
far
it is
art-
they went to Africa, they saw the shit that Africans did, right? Took it back to their country and then propaganded these stories about how basic black people were and how savage we were. They stole the shit.
One of them was that aliens did it. Like,
like
back
the
going back
pyramids?
then, just like the pyramids.
Yeah,
I don't believe that shit at
But
all.
see, and this is why I'm so overprotective of black culture. Like, black folks, we've got to stop letting everybody come over and get a to-go plate to our culture because they're rebranding it and we're buying it back from them. And we have no ownership of that. And even the media. This is why we need black-owned, black-led outlets.
Like the Good Negros podcast?
Hello.
Yeah.
Ugh.
It's our narratives, our imagery, our dialogue, you know, like it's important that we demand ownership, because a lot of people like, and I get it. You know, it is hard to get through some of the doors, but once you're in, you got to demand some equity. Not just, oh, we're excited that this company wanted us to create this campaign. No.
How do you do that? Now. Like, tell people how you do that, because that's important too. I don't think people know. You know, it's kind of like those things where we're like, you know, sometimes they say like women will make less money than men, and sometimes it's just they've never been. Black people too.
They've never
compared
asked.
to white people. You never been taught how to be like, give me 50,000 more, give me 10.
Mentality, you know, we guilty of that, but no, you got to demand it, because I know that I put some things together, and I don't play that over here. You're gonna pay me like you paid a white man, is what I say.
Well, did you get paid like the white man for the Juneteenth?
You gonna pay these artists more, like she stands up for these artists in terms of like, you gonna pay these artists what they worth, and that's what I like applaud.
Yeah,
because it's hard.
Why do we have to be starving artists? Right?
They're creating, right? But then just like that administrative side, or just like the legal talk and all that, it's a foreign language. But because I worked behind so many artists, and I got to see, well, wait a minute, I actually work with that artist too. Why did you offer this artist that much? And they're really in the same caliber.
Well, speak to that too, because I don't think people understand. Because I think when I first met you, I thought it was really cool that, I mean, would you call yourself almost like an agent for artists?
I was managing,
okay.
But I had to create a space for me and my ideas. Mm-hmm. Like I had so many ideas, and I didn't see anywhere to put them. And I liked helping people, but it was like, okay, let me try to do this for them. Well, it still didn't fit. And I was like, you know what? Actually, a lot of people were coming up to me at art shows and stuff, and they're like, yeah, we see what you're doing. You should. And I had to take it serious that, you know what? Actually, I'm going to have to design this for myself. And I didn't really like being out there.
Right.
You know, so that was an issue. Now I'm a little more comfortable with it. But
Ignore him.
Ignore
him.
Negroes. These are the other good Negroes behind the cameras at the Good Negro podcast.
But no,
they're equally good though.
Yeah, it's important. Like black creativity, black ownership, black idea. That's the one good thing about being in America. You can wake up any day, I'm gonna start this business.
Right.
I'm gonna do this. You know, if you.
Yeah.
Right.
Good and bad. If you know what you're doing, if you don't know what you're doing.
Yeah, and you just fail forward. You know, you got to be able to like bust your head.
That's a great concept. Failing forward.
I'm okay to bust my head, and I know I'm gonna bounce back. But in that, you still have to continue. You have to continue like growing, being a student and seeking knowledge, and then like seeding the breadcrumbs of, well, why does this happen? Oh, no, we can actually do this instead. So doing deals like those numbers don't look right for us, but instead we'll take the difference in licensing within your company's project. You can make it up that way.
Just knowing how to have those business conversations, because I know creatives are left-brained, right? Is it left brain? It is left brain, I think.
Yeah, I don't know.
One side of the brain is the creative side, and then you have the business temperament. Mm-hmm. So not everybody, most creatives can't manage a calendar.
Well, and I will say this too for creatives listening. You actually don't want to be the creative and the business person. You just want to be at the meeting going, yeah, I want to do it. That's great. And let your business person be the hard driver.
I'm going to say for most, yes. For me, I am that, and it's a different kind of madness.
But like, aren't you the person, like, let the artist be the artist, and you're the person that negotiates for him? It's
not just let the artist be the artist. So I'm a board member at Mint Gallery, right? Mm-hmm. And last year I noticed a lot of the people that were getting evicted, or I shouldn't say evicted, a lot of people that couldn't afford their studio rent were black. It's like, why is this happening? Well, we have to understand the cultural dynamics. Like, we wake up black in America first and navigate between two Americas. So we're out, I'm not going to say always, but we're behind in most areas. So instead of buying a bag, I bought a studio. And for 6 months, artists will be able to get a studio for 1 month, but also be mentored and critiqued by the veterans. Then there's the financial literacy side, where we brought in like Brandon from Butter ATL, black-owned businesses, Sohei, my amazing accountant, and Lauren Harris, who's a fine arts. She's Lauren Harris.
She sells stuff, basically. Yeah.
Yeah, she's a fine arts curator. Mm-hmm. To then show them the business side of things. Because it's one thing if, okay, you keep talking about, well, why didn't get this project, and then you finally get this project and it's $20,000, $30,000, $50,000. If you've never handled that much amount of money, you need to be in position so that when it does hit your bank account, you don't blow it.
And know that you got to pay taxes on it.
So my whole thing is this money that I'm putting towards this, I want to see where my money's going and skills. You know what I'm saying? Let's provide those skills so that we can then cultivate some real soil. And now the creativity is growing. The financial literacy of how to budget for your business and yourself. We got to be able to handle all of it. But we can't just sit here and be like, well, I didn't know. Yeah, but did you seek information to find out?
Right.
So, and me, I want to see where my money's going. Like, I'm not about to do all this work and then you go out and you're buying designer. Like, I want to see my money come right back to the community. All of our printing credits, Black owned from the West End, Mr. Ralph, who's been in the West End 15 years employing Black folks. Yeah. When we wrapped Flatiron, all that wheat paste came from West End Print Shop. Mr. Ralph's been, those are my heroes.
That's good to know because, I don't have a good printer. And speaking of printing, you have this lovely comic book. Would you call it a comic book?
It's a coloring book, love.
Oh, I guess so, because it doesn't have Wolverine in here or Black Panther. Yeah. What's that? Yeah. So this is your coloring book.
That's a hard concept to grasp. That sounded painful. Your coloring book.
So you got this wonderful coloring book here, a collaboration between Color ATL and Powerhouse Creative for Juneteenth. Tell me a little bit about it.
Yeah, so Color ATL is actually bred out of creating like creative therapeutic outlets for the medical facilities.
Really?
Yeah, so this is a special edition 2021 Juneteenth collaboration.
Okay.
We've actually been working on it for quite some time. 19 Black artists in there, some Juneteenth facts. Bain Jordan wrote the foreword, and I wrote some of the closing statements on like Black economics.
Is this the part right here that says, "Give us our money, damn it, because we're not playing with y'all"?
Sound like reparations.
Is that? And then it says reparations now. Is that what you wrote?
Nah.
Okay.
But so we have a Juneteenth Takeover this year is from 10 to 3. We'll be off Sweet Auburn, one of the country's most wealthiest streets in the country, Black-owned streets.
It's like the other Tulsa.
Right.
I did not know that. How I didn't know that?
There were multiple Tulsas.
Say less.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Yeah, let's do it.
It's a date.
Yeah. So
wait, I'm sorry. Y'all, can I go on this date with you?
You can join us.
Yeah. Oh Lord, it's just starting to get a little creepy in the way you
let
guys
me know.
said it.
You know what I'm saying?
Thing, y'all, like, there's so much history that like my office is off of Auburn Ave, and it's like the building I work in was built in 1910. W.E. Du Bois used to get his books from there.
Look,
John
I need a tour
Lewis
of your
used to have
office now too. Like, what we talking about?
Yeah, y'all gotta come through. Yeah,
can that be part of the date though?
You can join us, right?
Okay.
As long as you be a good Negro.
Hey.
And I'll be good.
So
you gonna lead a good trouble at home this time though. We're not yeah.
I mean, whatever happens, man. We adults. You know what I'm saying? We love each other.
Nothing.
Love's free.
So Juneteenth Takeover this year consists of from 10 to 3. We'll be on Auburn Ave. There's a historic Sweet Auburn parade starting at 340 Auburn Ave at Remerge. We'll have some coloring books. Some of our sponsors like Mint Gallery, Straight to Tell, and Orange Barrel Media, all these folks have brought in vendors like Local Green Atlanta and Atlanta Breakfast Club to be part of our Color ATL package. And then from 3 to 6 in Woodruff Park on the boardwalk, those pages will be out there for the community to come color in life size. Then in Woodruff Park, we'll be having a picnic, a Juneteenth style picnic with some art installations. Mike Flo, Lady Marauder are the DJs. We'll have installations from Journey of a Black Girl, Comfy Art, Sean Foy, and Black King Everything.
His name's Sean
There's going to
Foy.
be art installations in Woodruff Park. Mike Flo will be the DJ, Lady Marauder. And then we've also got like a dope surprise at the Woodruff Park fountain.
Okay, Jinx, you keep Jinx keeps showing me the pictures that she wants to paint.
No, there's a reason why you can't show certain pages. I'm trying to be
It's
inconspicuous about it because
the
the red
proof.
lines
Because
and marks in it.
I want to draw this mean ass picture of Frederick Douglass looking like he was dropping on white people.
How about
talking
you just talk about
I
it,
used
but
to be
don't
a
show
slave,
it, so
homie.
it builds like suspense. Like, oh, I got to see. Like, oh, there's some dope local artists.
Okay,
And
there's
just show
some
like
dope.
the cover.
There's some dope local artists in here, and you just see the cover, but I see the incredible art on the inside, like this one here from
That's
Jamal
real
Barber.
suspenseful.
For you, because you
You can tell Ash is about everybody.
she is.
'Cause
And,
she-
but how else? Like, how else would
but
you
this
get
is
in a
the thing,
space like
Civil
this?
rights movement. You didn't know who was the quarterback, even though a lot of the black men was the black women was the ghostwriters. I like moving. I love black folks moving as a unit. I've always been in unison, like a fascination for, like, you know, at the skating rink. And you see the groups and the crews, or they just like, I
like
love
the
it
SWAT.
in
Yeah.
unison, but
Swimming.
you don't know who the quarterback is. Like, there's no one standing out in front of each other. And that's just, yeah.
Yeah, or sometimes there will
love
be some dude who is or person, man or woman, but generally men that are like put out in front, but there were so many more people behind them.
And and that's what's messed up about like PR and marketing, because you only hear about those people. You
Right.
only hear about Martin Luther King and Malcolm X, and it's just like, man, there was a fleet.
Frederick Rogers. I just made
Yeah,
that
that
up. I don't
part.
think
Yeah,
that was a guy,
we know,
but
we
I'm
know.
sure there was somebody named Frederick Rogers.
But there's just,
that
and
was
this is my
involved.
thing, like there's just it's a great disservice. Like there's value in crediting people, and I love to see everybody just, you know, it actually increases our value.
Well, you credited everybody that's going to be at the picnic, and that's fine.
We know Ash loves everybody, and
Yeah.
we love you back. So
Just about.
we're very grateful. She said, not everybody. Let's be clear.
Yeah, be clear about
I
that.
caught that though. But so we're grateful that you're here.
about.
I mean, I am grateful you're here. I'm grateful that we're talking about Juneteenth and its contrast to July 4th, because it's really our Independence Day. And, I mean, you have to ask yourself, like, if, as a black person, what is July 4th to you? As much as this is our country, right?
Yeah. Are you going to spend money at Walmart, of all places, where they send out, you know, hello nigger emails
What?
for your, you didn't see that?
No.
It was like last week. They sent out an email blast, and it said, hello nigger. I'm going to DM it to y'all.
No, was it real?
Was that
This is
somebody's
not-
first name?
No,
'Cause
it
you
was
know-
real. Because even the Shade Room people were like, we got it too.
Was it a mistake? What did Walmart say? Oh, they claimed it was a mistake, of course.
How do you type in
I'm so confused.
Niggeara?
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's
Unless
the thing.
you were talking
we'll
about
be
the
like,
Niger River.
But black folks would
Not
be
spelled
like,
the same.
I'm mad about that. How you going to call me a nigger and be right up in Walmart?
Because it's the cheapest and because money talks. And I look,
But
I don't like to breathe in Walmart. I don't walk in there unless I have to, because their whole, what you see is what you get. Like, it literally, they have no culture, no.
Right. But
their
this is the
corporate
thing.
culture is
This
awful.
is why black economic, like the power of the black dollar is so important. The black dollar only cycles for 6 hours in our community.
Right.
There's so many, like, what happened to the mom and pop shops? You know, if we spent with them, that dollar would go longer, and generational wealth would go a little further. Instead of situations like that, where they're constantly showing us how they feel about us, and we
Showing us
go
their
right back to
ass.
it. And that's where my thing is. My conversation ain't for them. My conversation is for us. We need to have a conversation in the
Right.
car.
Hey, like
here's what I
no
will
black
say.
person.
Here's what I will say, though. In terms of Atlanta, like, I'm super proud of Atlanta because
Oh.
we are focused on doing that and spending with each other, amongst each other. And like, it's literally like
It's
a
just
must,
thriving,
right? That's
like-
what we do. So, I mean, I just wish that for more people, I guess. But
Yeah, like
proud
I
of
wish it
Atlanta
for
for that
every
reason.
city. That, like, the feeling that we have here. I mean, literally seasonings. We got folks out here like DiBiase got
Right.
seasonings.
slang and seasoning.
Uncle Dibs.
But we've created everywhere that we weren't able to get let into or our ideas could thrive. We created our own, like, ecosystem. And I mean, even before us, that ecosystem, that soil was already cultivated. But the way, like, everyone's taking it so serious within our realm is just
It's beautiful.
You don't know
Speaking
who the quarterback is.
They wouldn't let us in. Did y'all hear about Dominique Wilkins?
Exactly.
At the lab, whatever.
It's called La Bilbo K.
Not even that important.
K.
Not even that important. La blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, La Bilbo K.
We got black-owned businesses out here.
Man,
We got black-owned restaurants
so
now.
this is the one thing I want to say. If very few businesses can handle a 20% reduction in revenue, right? Mm-hmm. I'd be willing to bet all the white establishments, restaurants, have at least, in Atlanta at least, have at least 20% black customers. If black people just stop going to La Bilbo K, it might put them out of business.
What if black folks just stop buying from shoe stores that, hire black people and sell black culture, style, fashion? You know what I'm saying? Like, there's so many dope black creators that can't really even get their leg in the door, or they try to, and they're constantly getting knocked down. But meanwhile, we're buying from these white-owned establishments
and ain't trying to
that's
negotiate
selling us
nothing
back to us, and we're buying it. Come on now.
Ain't nobody negotiating at Gucci and Fendi and Prada, but then want to come into a. Okay, so this is not productive. Let's not do that, because we have these conversations. We're always like, if black people only did, and we don't negotiate here, but then we want to come and negotiate with black folks. I want to have that conversation.
Yeah,
I want to have that conversation.
Okay, I mean, everybody does it, but
I know. Well, I don't want to be.
We need to not do that with each other or your friends' businesses. Like, if your friend offers you a discount, then that's fine. Don't ask your friends for discounts, because you don't ask for discounts at Walmart.
I mean, we're just supposed to keep that movement going, keep it cycling.
Yeah,
keep it. We have the ecosystem, just keep it cycling so it can keep growing. Yeah.
So yeah,
love it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Ash.
All right, on that note,
thank you
so much for coming out and enriching us with some serious topics that we needed, because, we get a little goofy sometimes, but, grounding us a bit and talking about some real stuff that affects the community is super important. So,
yeah. I mean, I think, our folks, we like to have a good time and we like to create and do all these things, but we need to talk about, make sure, do that after the ownership has been established.
Right.
And that,
Well, can I own the coloring that I make of that mean-ass Frederick Douglass?
All yours, boo.
Oh, yeah.
Painting in the coloring book, because I like that. You know what I'm saying?
And let me just be clear for the record. All of us are black business owners.
Listen.
Everyone in this room, behind the camera,
know what I'm saying?
everybody, and so that is a beautiful thing, and that's something I'm super proud of. We are all three the hard way.
Listen, I geek out about that, because Powerhouse Creative is backed by nothing but independent contractors who love what they do. And they're all black owned.
There it is.
So it's just a whole network, and it's beautiful to see, because people we're doing what we love. And
I was just wondering, should we all put up Black Power fists together?
We're not doing that.
Oh, okay. And then
do like the Power Rangers and explode.
Yes, and then do like a basketball thing, which people call handball, and go, woo!
And then
Juneteenth.
Shut up and dribble.
Okay. Yes.
Doing all that. Shut up and dribble.
Okay. I'll shut up and dribble.
All right.
Ash, thank you. Appreciate you being here with the Good Negros.
Rolling?
You're a good Negro as well. Okay.
Go out and stir up some good trouble.
You can get the tattoo. You can get the same tattoo.
You can mention tattoo?
Yes. It's gonna be a Black Power fist.
If you don't stop talking.
Okay.
Boy.